Hi, I'm Barbara McGinnis. I'm a certified elder law attorney and partner here at Johnson McGinnis Elder Law and Estate Planning. We all have our story, our caregiver story. Mine actually involves three very special people to me. My first experience with the care continuum and being involved as a caregiver was when my father was diagnosed with dementia, actually vascular dementia, many years ago. And I'm an only child, so I was helping Mom. I was trying to be very supportive to her as she was his primary caregiver. And she cared for him at home for 8 years after diagnosis. It got challenging at times. He forgot he was at home. He would want to go home even when he was sitting in his own chair. Sometimes I'd have to call or come over and talk to him and make sure that he felt secure. Eventually, we had to find placement. There were just significant changes in his cognition and recognition of my mom, his wife, and we had to find placement for him just for the safety of both. Mom continued to be his primary care advocate and care manager. She went every day to the facility to look after him, and he actually became quite happy and satisfied there. It was a difficult experience because how long the process was taking in terms of he actually lived with dementia for over 10 years, and Mom saw the care cost draining her, and she worried about that. She went from being a very generous mom to someone that thought she had to scrimp and save. She went to the local VSO to look for help. My dad was a 22-year veteran of the Air Force, and the VSO told her she had too much money and she should go home and pay for her husband's care. At that time, I was a nurse practitioner, and I knew the clinical aspects of what was going on with his care, but I didn't really understand enough about veterans' benefits to know how to argue or advocate for those benefits for her. Eventually, my father passed. My mother got older and frailer, and she too lived in assisted living before she passed away. We tried a little different approach with her. We used an asset protection trust to help preserve some of her assets, and eventually she was eligible to receive surviving spouse benefits through the Veterans Administration, and it did help pay for some of her care. I was involved day to day as her healthcare power of attorney. There'd be times where I needed to be her advocate for good care. Eventually, she passed away in 2020 during COVID, but not from COVID. My last experience with care was my husband. He was diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment about 7 years ago and lived with mild impairments for about 3 years before he had a drastic decline in cognition and behaviors, and he required memory care here in Hendersonville. And he eventually succumbed to Lewy body dementia, passing away in the summer of 22. These are all draining experiences. They take enormous energy. We understand that. We understand that caregivers want to do the best they can for their family members. They're trying really hard, but they're balancing a lot of different things in life. And sometimes just having a team of professionals that understand, that get you, that know where you're coming from, because we all have our stories.